The family party was supposed to be harmless. A backyard barbecue in suburban Maryland, folding chairs lined up like witnesses, R&B humming from a Bluetooth speaker, laughter floating in the summer air. I arrived early, like I always did, with a homemade peach cobbler balanced carefully in my hands. I wore a soft yellow dress, nothing flashy, just enough to feel like myself again. Hey guys, before we get into today's crazy family revenge story, make sure to subscribe to my channel and smash that like button if you love real-life shocking stories. Also, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop your country name in the comments right now. All right, let's get into today's story. My name is Nia Carter, 34, black, divorced, quietly rebuilding my life after a marriage that hollowed me out. This was my ex-husband Marcus's family gathering. I'd been invited because his sister Tanya insisted we were still family. I believed her. That was my first mistake. The humiliation started subtly. Marcus barely looked at me when I walked in, his arm already wrapped around Vanessa, his new fiancée. Younger, loud, wearing a white sundress that screamed replacement. She smiled at me like I was a charity case. "Oh, wow," she said loudly, eyes scanning me. "You're brave for coming." People laughed, nervous, uncomfortable laughter. I smiled. Tanya clinked her glass an hour later. "Everyone, we've got an announcement." She beamed at Marcus and Vanessa. "They're getting married this fall." Applause erupted. I clapped too. My hands moved automatically, like I wasn't inside my own body. Then Tanya turned to me. "And Nia," she said sweetly, "since you don't have kids or a husband tying you down anymore, you can probably help us with babysitting during the honeymoon, right?" The laughter this time was louder, sharper. Someone muttered, "Damn." Marcus finally spoke. "She's used to doing things for us." Used to. Vanessa leaned in, pretending to whisper, but loud enough for the table. At least she got something out of the marriage, free practice. That one landed. My chest tightened. I tasted metal. Years of loyalty, supporting Marcus through law school, draining my savings so he could succeed, reduced to a punchline at a folding table. The worst part? Marcus stood there and smiled. No defense, no guilt, just comfort in knowing he was above me now. I looked around. Family members avoided my eyes. A few smirked. This wasn't accidental. This was coordinated, a public reminder of my place. So, I smiled. I laughed lightly, lifted my glass, and said, "Of course, family first." Inside, something broke. But something else sharpened. Because what they thought I was small because I'd been quiet. They mistook grace for weakness. 2 days after the party, I sat alone in my apartment, the walls bare except for ambition. I opened a locked file on my laptop labeled, "Just in case." During Marcus's climb from struggling student to junior partner at a prestigious DC law firm, I handled everything. Finances, documents, drafts. When he was overwhelmed, I proofread contracts. When he panicked, I organized his cases. When he cheated, I stayed silent. And when things felt off, I saved copies. Emails, draft filings, recorded voice notes. Not crimes, but ethical violations, conflicts of interest, evidence of corners cut and credit stolen from junior associates. Mostly women, mostly black. I hadn't kept them for revenge. I'd kept them for survival. After the party, survival became optional. Revenge became necessary. First, I reached out to Simone, a former colleague Marcus had quietly pushed out of the firm years ago. Brilliant, black, wrongly labeled difficult. She answered on the first ring. "I saw the engagement photos," she said. "I'm guessing this isn't a friendly call." I told her everything. She laughed, not happy, relieved. "I've been waiting for this moment," she said. "What do you need?" Next, I contacted Vanessa's former employer. Not directly, through LinkedIn, through whispers, through truth wrapped in politeness. Turns out Vanessa hadn't left her nonprofit job voluntarily. She'd been dismissed for misusing donor funds. Nothing proven, just enough smoke to scare sponsors. Interesting. Then I did the smartest thing of all. I waited. 3 weeks later, Tanya invited everyone to an engagement celebration dinner. The collapse didn't start at the restaurant. It started the next morning. Marcus's firm placed him on administrative leave pending investigation. Anonymous tip. Detailed. Irrefutable. His phone blew up. He called me 7 times. I didn't answer. By noon, Vanessa's name disappeared from the nonprofit's website. Donors paused funding. Questions resurfaced. By evening, Tanya was calling, panicked. "What did you do?" she demanded. I finally picked up. "I smiled," I said calmly, "just like you taught me." The real humiliation came 3 days later. The family gathered again, this time not for celebration, but damage control. Marcus insisted I come. Begged, actually. When I arrived, the air was thick with fear. Marcus looked smaller, sweaty. His voice cracked as he spoke. "They're saying I might be disbarred." Vanessa sat stiff beside him, mascara flawless, reputation in shambles. Tanya turned on me. "You knew about this stuff, didn't you?" I nodded. "Yes." Silence. "You let us humiliate you?" Marcus said slowly. "On purpose?" I met his eyes. "You needed to feel powerful. I needed you comfortable." Vanessa stood up. "You're bitter. You're alone. This is all you have." I stepped closer. "No, this is what you took from me and thought I wouldn't reclaim." I slid my phone across the table. Emails, dates, proof of Marcus mocking his own family behind their backs, Vanessa's past mistakes, Tanya's texts laughing about me before the party. They stayed. 6 months later, my life looked nothing like it used to. I co-founded a legal consulting firm specializing in compliance and ethical review, helping companies avoid the very mistakes Marcus made. Simone was my partner. We hired women like us, paid them well. Marcus never recovered. He lost his firm, his reputation followed him. Vanessa moved back to another state, her smile no longer marketable. Tanya stopped calling. One afternoon, I ran into Marcus at a grocery store. He looked tired, older. "I didn't know you were capable of that," he said quietly. I smiled, the same one from the party. "You never knew me at all." I walked away without another word. No shouting, no public meltdown, no begging for understanding. Just consequences. They humiliated me to feel superior. I ended them by letting them believe I was harmless. And that was the most painful lesson of all.